You guys are already in your default positions. Okay, someday. Welcome back, one and all, to our bi-weekly TTRPG at Fate Weavers. Today we have a full party. Why don't we just jump right back into it? Cause boy,
My family
oh boy.
is being held hostage. Please call the local authorities.
So, as I was saying, no hostages. So, guys, last we left off, the group, the Wanderers, as they now call themselves, aka former idiots, had arrived to the city of Kurth in the district of Lorelei on their way to Elam, trying to look for her abducted, slightly demonic now friend Gavatutalu. In the middle of the city, as preparations were being made for a parade of the royal family with their divine powers, that was pretty much the only thing keeping some sort of faith and order in this empire. There was an attack by the one and only Gavatutalu with some sort of rifle of experimental sorts and a bunch of very ready to die cultists. As the group tried their best to thwart this attempt on the regent's life, Quottl did manage to teleport away with the king. But it was very soon after that his head exploded as his chest was pierced, to which Bishar turned into
The kings,
shape.
not
Yeah, the kings,
the kings, not Quattles.
not Quattles yet. To which Quottl climbed atop B-shape and started to run away as the party went their separate ways, except for Ephraim, who was still in the courtyard of the cathedral in the middle of the commotion as an encirclement was placed, trapping every citizen in place. The group did manage to find their way to Kaine's parents' home in the outskirts of Kurth. This very, from the outside, seemed kind of regal, but once you go inside, very eloquent house with a lot of artifacts and treasures and trinkets recovered from expeditions, fine marble. Everything was really expensive AF. As the group reconvened in this location, with Marlish, Thuras, Kaine and her parents, Kauliki was introduced as her granddaughter. Conversations were had as Quottl and Bishigel appeared in the courtyard with the dead body of a very widely known king. As the group went into the cellar, the whiskey cellar, they started having conversations and through the use of some magic did manage to get some information out of the body of the king, and with Shoralf did manage to come to the conclusion that this king was most certainly some sort of demon worshipper / scion, to which the group proceeded to blight the body and turn it into just a carcass of its former glory. The night continued, still no signs of Ephraim, as everybody went to sleep except for Shoralf, who ventured into the city, walking to the Harmonious Plaza, to witness riots, buildings being set on fire, just a whole lot of commotion as the guards try to keep on their mission of checking every single person in this town, as the town had been completely covered in a dome barrier that keeps everybody in with no option of going out. As Shoralf came back to Kaine's house and everybody started to wake up, that is where we left off. And we actually will continue from that point. As the morning, still no sign of Ephraim. You all wake up to the smell of freshly cooked bread. You all see how Kaine has some sort of like two stones that come together and water starts pouring out of nowhere. You also see how she's just like touching something and heat is coming. I would say that for Bishar, this is like stupid, crazy, impossible. As someone that grew in a place where there was a community kitchen for the whole village. Shoral, for you, this is rather common. For Quotl and for Jason, the state, like the kitchen appliances. Eric, sorry. The kitchen appliances would be for like extremely fancy houses. Like you, it's like common knowledge. It's just like the fragments of a firestone that come together and form a flame, or of a water stone that come together and form the arcane scripture for the water to start pouring out of the stone. But just like somebody having that inside of their house rather than depending on the well means that these people have a lot of money. As y'all wake up, what are you guys doing?
I'm doing the biggest cat stretch. This was the best night since forever.
It has been a very long time since we've actually had a rest inside a house that was not moving, or a ship that was not moving. I assume at this point, Jorov is the one that's currently up, right?
Shoralf and Kaine.
Okay, I will ask Jorov, because Eric is kind of on high alert at this point. Any sign of Ephraim?
He wouldn't have known if I'd gone for a walk with him, so what did I tell you? Does it look bad that I've just gone for a walk while I'm meant to be guarding? Nah, who cares? So, while you were all sleeping, I decided to go towards... there was some commotion coming from town, and I decided to investigate. Doesn't look good, I'll be honest with you. It looks like riots breaking out on the streets. It looks like carnage, I'll be honest with you. So I'm hoping that Ephraim isn't in one of those government buildings. Hopefully he's been taken away to a nice, secure facility. But no, I haven't seen it.
That would concur with the message I received late last night from my mother by way of sending. She urged that I come back very, very quickly. Situation has changed all around the Empire. We think there's a possibility everyone has seen the assassination, or at the very least, the attack on the king.
What? How?
Was this news broadcasted over the kingdom or something?
I believe we did a check where we had thought it is possible that
yeah, you did an intelligence check and you concluded that everybody probably knew, because the broadcast that you had seen in those crystals throughout the town had been going to like every single place in the Empire.
It would not surprise me because they would have broadcasted his speech around the Empire, which also means when the attack happened, he was probably also... everyone witnessed what happened, which means the situation has now vastly changed. My recommendation now, regardless of what our current goals is, we must get back to Nasantia. I do not know of any other place that can be safe for us without issue. I look at Kaine and say, no offense, Kaine, but I don't think the royal guards or whoever the city guards here are will take kindly when they find out eventually that we were part of some way, shape or form to the king dying.
Well, this is certainly not good. I would recommend getting the fuck out of this place as soon as possible and going to something like Elarn. Like, the guilds will probably be good there. I may actually join the Bakers Guild now.
No longer the Retrievers Guild.
Oh, the Sleepy Cow. Yeah, the Sleepy Cow are fine and all. But...
Who the fuck is shaving currently?
This is my eraser.
A mechanical eraser!
Mechanical desk to go up and down, a mechanical eraser, what else mechanical in there?
Oh, could have spent all that money on a new microphone.
No, don't have money for new camera, Mike. No. Oh, mechanical razor. Gotta have it.
This is old!
Yeah, it sounds like it.
But yeah, no, would any of the guilds help us leave this city, or no? I look at Kaine. Or any of the NPCs at this point.
Turas is passed out, high drunk.
Yeah.
Marlish is sleeping, hugging a hellhound against a corner.
Yeah, he's not useful.
And the Kaine's parents are still on the main room. You haven't seen them. Oh, I don't think the guilds have much presence here. Only the Keepers of Life or whatever plant-loving assholes are probably the only guild in this city. Maybe the Sleepy Cow has a place here. Yeah, plant-loving assholes.
Wait.
What makes them not important? Is there a specific reason for us to go to Nasantia other than it's safe? Because we might be better off just hiding out in the wilderness. At least it's closer.
Allies, that we would have people around us. There'd be safety in numbers. I know the journey might take us across bridges and we'll have to cross it, and looks at Marlish and Jorah, remembering the last time we tried to cross one. Oh, wait, would those enchantments even still be in place if the Empire's up in uproar?
I don't know.
Good question.
Yeah, I look at the architect or someone who might have some insight knowledge.
I'm not a magic architect. I don't know.
Yes, you are.
Well, I now am, but I wasn't before.
Oh, such a shame that the guy that knows actual magical engineering is not here.
We need to find where Bryn is. I think.
Well,
we
worst case scenario, I can fly all of you across chasms.
Yeah, sorry, Ephraim. We must find Ephraim before we leave.
Yes.
How?
Where did we last see him? Was he in the square?
He
When we
was. I think he was caught up in the chaos.
So what's
Cut
the plan of the
to a
gods here,
prison cell.
Kaine? Ah,
Cut to a
Slap
prison
cut.
cell underneath the cathedral, where there are about 200
prison break,
people
prison
behind
break,
cells.
prison break. Oh, sorry.
Ephraim, you very quickly after the events happen, dozens of winged guards started descending from this flying vessel in the sky. Cannons started to point at the populace as everybody started to be kind of like pushed forward towards the cathedral, into a single line, and then taken to some sort of like prison cell / catacombs underneath the cathedral, a place that you've never seen. It's not like you have been hearing Kurt. After that, the people in the public started to be taken one by one into different rooms, and that has been pretty much it for the last 4 or 5 hours. Some people that had been taken away have come back, some have not. What are you doing in this moment as you are sharing a cell with maybe like 20 other people?
Oh, okay. Well, I'd first probably just start by just walking around the room, and just looking at the bars and seeing how far I can see out. I'm assuming there are other cells with similar groups of people nearby.
So there are some cells that have metal bars, but for the most part, there seems to be just like catacomb rooms. No door, no nothing that is preventing you from moving out of this place, except for maybe the 10 or so guards with pointy sticks that you yourself know are really dangerous.
Well, firstly, I just want to check that basically, that what he's seen is real. And so he will go around asking the other people in the cell what they all saw, and he'll just be like scribbling notes down, just in a notebook, just getting different points of view of the attack.
Okay. Why don't you make me an investigation check?
So that is 22.
22. So you managed to get a lot of different viewpoints throughout these 4 or 5 hours that you've been standing here. It's mostly what you already know about some sort of half orc of bluish skin firing some sort of mechanical contraption with 2 cylinders, a bunch of crazy guys with tubes filled with some purplish liquid, a lot of explosions, a lot of dead people. Most of the people that have been trapped here are in like a complete disbelief. Like they don't think anything happened. Some are like completely broken down, like no thought behind their eyes. They are in like a complete denial. There's a lot of people, especially the older folk, that still think the king is alive and well and preparing for a comeback counterattack. So yeah, there's just like a lot of uncertainty. You're muted, mate.
There you go. Do you know Would Ephraim know at this point who would be in charge in the city or who would be overseeing the guards?
So with that investigation check, you probably don't know. You probably have no idea. You were never interested in the politics of the empire, so.
Okay.
After a few more minutes go by, a batch of people come back, and they just go into their cells. Some others, based on your quick estimations and your quick math, there are maybe like 4 to 5 people less than what they took about half an hour ago. It is in this moment that a male human guard in full plate armor, he does have the firefly wings on the back of the armor, seems to just like go to the entrance of the place where you're standing and just starts pointing people at randomly until he points at you, and you see all of the people start walking away following this guard. As you are taking down a series of different corridors, almost like a maze, hard to know exactly where you are walking unless you know the map of this place. And you are taking into a single room, no door, and as you walk in, you do notice there's a single light source in the middle of a wooden table. The light source seems to be like a crystal that has some sort of luminescence. Not that bright, just barely enough for you to be able to see maybe like a meter or 2 in front of you. And you are just told to sit on the middle of the table, on a chair. As the guards leave the room, you see where there was no door, no bars, nothing, just darkness seems to close as you are encircled in some sort of like dome of pitch shadow, unable to discern details of walls or ground. It just seems to you as you are in a shadow floating through a void with a wooden table and a faint glowing crystal. Are you doing anything as you wait?
How much of my gear was removed when I was taken in?
Yeah.
So what would I have? I mean,
just your clothes.
Okay. Alright. But let me see. Is this sort of magic, this use of earstone or some sort of crystal familiar to me? Kind of.
Yeah, this would be just. It's not even an earstone. It's just a piece of quartz that has been enchanted with something. You know, these are normally used as night lamps, or at least they used to be used as night lamps for kids in affluent families before the fracturing.
Okay. I will look around. Are there any, like, of the people who were taken out of the room, are there any similarities? Like, do they all appear to be of some status or something like that?
No, nothing comes to mind just like that. It just seemed to be commoners. The people that had been taken in, some of them were wearing regal clothes, most of them were wearing working clothes. So nothing seems to be like a common denominator between the people.
I will wait and see if someone, is on another side of the room that I can't see, or something like that. I'll just wait.
So after a few minutes, what feels like maybe half an hour in this pitch darkness, you start hearing your own heartbeat, the flow of your own blood. There's no noise other than yourself in this space. As you are waiting, maybe half an hour, maybe an hour, you are not entirely certain. The shadows that had merged into what seemed to be the hall where you walked through open, and a figure in like it's a woman, as she's wearing like a cloak with blue and gold colors, kind of dark, nothing too vivid. She walks into the room as it closes. She pulls out the hood of her cloak, and you see that it's an Albion woman of very dark ebony hair. She seems very regal and very graceful with all of her movements. As she walks closer to you, the chair itself moves on its own as she sits, and the chair adjusts to accommodate her. You see she has amethyst eyes that seem to be glowing at all times, and she has, in these robes, you don't manage to discern where her shoulders, her arms, even her chest seem to be. It seems as if this robe just flows into nothingness, covering her whole body. She just puts both of her hands on the table. Now, today was a very horrid day, was it not?
Yes. I'm sure everyone is shocked. As are you.
Oh yes, I definitely was shocked. Apologies, I'm going to be conducting some questions. The official term is technically an interrogation, and I am supposed to introduce myself based on the protocol, I think. Grand Magus Luciana Valeria, to your whatever. So, is it okay with you if we cut straight to the questions, let the pleasantries be gone, and just focus on what matters?
I suppose. If you may have things to ask of you, even if they're only minor.
Not sure if that is how this works, but of course, if the matter comes to that, I may answer a question or two. Maybe 4, who knows? Right. I am the one asking the questions. What's your name?
Ephraim.
Just Ephraim.
Well, if you really need to know, but it's easier if you
I
don't
most
know.
certainly need to know.
And you will find me registered under a certain manufactory in a town that would give my identity.
Which town?
Rosalia.
Oh. Oh.
Yes.
Well, that certainly changes some questions. So you see, she puts a hand inside of the cloak. The full arm seems to go in, and okay, here it is. And she seems to be pulling something from like 5 meters underneath, as she pulls just a paper that seems to be full of names. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, certainly. Okay, that changes some plans. So let's keep questions 2 to 47, and let's go straight to question 48 then. Have you been informed, or had you had prior information about the attempt on the life of our king or Her Majesty?
Not many information, no. I mean, I had things to make me worried that something might happen, but they're really just vague suspicions from walking around.
Oh. And you see she grabs once again, the other hand goes into the cloak, and you see that she just brings like a small metal ring about the width of her wrist, and she places the metal ring on top of the piece of quartz as it starts floating and spinning, almost like some sort of electromagnet. And she goes, and the ring kind of like starts flickering quickly until it seems to come to a complete stop, floating steadily. But with your knowledge, if you look really close, you can see that this metal band is just vibrating at an extremely fast speed, never sitting still. Ephraim, I need you to make a charisma saving throw, please, as you are being put under a Zone of Truth spell.
Zone of Truth, yes.
And you see she goes, oh, I'm sorry, it's just a habit of mine to not explain. I assume that coming from a city such as that, you probably know a little bit about magical arcane engineering yourself, so I should not need to explain this, but let's stick to protocol a little bit. You're being placed under a spell that compels you to tell the truth and not lie, and if you so were to choose, if you could, I don't even know if you could, to tell a lie, you will be immediately disintegrated.
Okay.
So, with that in mind, Ephraim, are you rolling the dice?
I did roll the dice, and I got 13.
So you fail. Marvelous.
Yep.
Now,
Good.
let's move on to question 49. Actually, you know what? No. Let's reiterate question 44 under more formal means. I will repeat the question again. To your information, did you have any knowledge that would have led you to believe that the life of our king or his majesty was in danger?
Well, I already said essentially yes, so you do know.
Wonderful. Can you go into further detail as to which information had gotten to you and why had you not shared that with your commanding officer?
Well, I've been on extended leave, extended something elsewhere, and was in the process of maybe returning home, maybe continuing. I've been very busy, so it's hard to make contact with my superiors. But the more specific, I guess you'd call it information and suspicion, was that traveling here through through Lorelei and Almeria, I encountered several disturbances, shall we say. Energies building up, corrupting one or two of the granaries in Almeria. And this made me suspicious that there was some external influence at play. Given that it has been not that long since the fracturing, and we don't fully understand how. Well, we don't fully understand what might be beneath the miasma and all of this, and how that has affected influence from elsewhere.
Throughout all this time, she hasn't left the original position with her hands covering her face and her eyes just those amethyst eyes just staring at you. Though you do hear some sort of scribbling against paper and wood coming from outside. Farther away, where the shadows begin, probably. Oh, and may you go into more detail as to what these disturbances were?
I mean, there were similar things to what I told you about to the granary. While travelling in, to remember, it's so good with geography. Almeria, I encountered some goblins who also seemed corrupted somehow. Where we defeated them. Well, yes. But I'm not with them anymore. We defeated them, and I think put an end to them, so they were influencing there. But it was these things that made me more genuinely worried that something bad was going to happen. And given that we had just been with these disturbances elsewhere in granaries nearby, and then the royal party was coming through now, this is what raised my suspicions.
Ephraim, as you are talking, you see Grand Magus Luciana Valeria goes, "Oh, and please do go into more detail about these corruptions." And as she's talking, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no. Okay.
Just so you know, the DC for this is 21.
Damn. Listen. Okay. It was only 8.
Yeah, figure. As she's talking, you don't see her mouth. You don't see the origin of the sounds that you hear. But you do start seeing, as her hands are pulled from covering her mouth to just sitting on her chin, what you hear and what she's saying, the movement of her lips, doesn't make sense. It's almost as if the sound of her voice is coming from somewhere else. And it is at this point where you start feeling almost like looking at an echo. You see the batting of her eyelids, you see each movement on her brows, the twitches on her long ears. You see the movements of yourself, but you also see kind of like a mirror with an asynchrony of everything as you start being able to interpret those kind of echoes and ripples in time as you start hearing a second voice in your head. The same voice of Luciana Valera, but you just hear a different voice. Listen, we don't have much time. I'm going to need you to make a decision in the next 2 questions. Just nod if you can finally hear me. May you grant clarification onto what these corrupted goblins were doing? You now hear the regular voice.
Well, they...
Proceeds to read the notes.
Yeah. Details. Well, from my recollection...
Oh, your mind is dying, mate.
Oh, sorry. Let me just check. What is it?
That's better.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Well, from my recollection, they... I'm not exactly sure how to describe it. There appeared to be some sort of corruption nearby that was influencing them, and then and so they were attacking travelers on the road. One we met who alerted us to this. I mean, I couldn't tell you exactly. I don't understand their strange language. So, and I'm not some expert on whatever influences these are, so I can't be too exact. But it did seem to us like it was coming from somewhere external. Some plane elsewhere.
Very interesting. I shall ask more questions about this, but now let's move forward to question number 49 of our schedule. As she's saying that, and while you were talking, you heard in your head from the echoes. Do you know of Falsetto, the organization? Okay, I'm going to take the note as a yes. Are you aware of the true nature of our king and the kingdom?
I don't think I would be.
No.
So, no. I shake my head.
Okay, question number 49. Were you aware before the events of today as to any risk and threat to the stability of our empire that you could have diffused and served to prevent?
I don't think so, no.
Last question then, question number 50. Will you make your best to assure the survivability of the empire and the extension of And you see at this moment she kind of stops. The divine line of Longus.
I shake my shoulders. Yes.
You hear in your head, listen, you need to get out of this place. I need to meet with you outside of here. Elam, let's go to Elam. I look for you there.
Elam?
And let's just hope this is not the second end of the world. And you see,
No.
very well. Well, it was certainly lovely to skimmer through so many questions so quickly. You certainly did amazing, Mr. Ephraim. And we will keep in touch. We just need to get you back to the others for a while as we finish conducting some of the inquiries to the other members of the populace. And we will just let you go in a couple of hours following proper procedure. I guess, yes, following procedure. And you see that her chair just slides out as she stands up and she extends her hand. Well, I am confident that you had nothing to do with today's events and that you wish to do your best to the survivability of the last empire. And she stretches her hand, trying to do a handshake to you.
I'll shake her hand.
As you shake her hand, you do feel in the palm of your hand something being engraved. And let's go. Well, my guard here, and you see that she just lifts up a finger, and the darkness seems to just open up again. Guard number 1 over there will just take you back to your holding place. It shall be only a couple of hours. Fret not. All shall be good.
Right. Thank you, and hopefully I will see you again on more productive terms.
Oh, darling,
Yes,
you shall not see me. I will be in all parades. Everything will be fine.
Oh, baby.
And now, guard number 1, if you may. And you see this half-orc guard going like, fucking royals, and just like pushing you back to the catacombs.
Right. I'm totally freaking out.
Oh.
Right.
When you look at your hand, you don't see anything, but if you move your finger through it, you can feel almost like very tiny scars forming what seems to be some sort of arcane scripture. Not sure
Can I
what.
determine what that means?
You can roll me an arcana.
Okay.
The one guy that knows arcana.
Yeah. 21.
21. It's really hard to see in this place. There's no light. You are just like in the same space as 20 other people, and you are trying to be sneaky. It's hard to see, but just by feeling with your finger, you are not sure. But it seems to be some sort of override or rewritten sort of thing that has to do with the citizen crest that is on the other side of your hand. And Ephraim, you get a long rest as you spend your night in the catacombs. We cut back to everybody else.
Just having breakfast. Like, kinda, can you pass the butter, please?
Of
Oh,
course,
she's
dear.
so lovely. It's so nice.
You should try the tatars. I made them with fresh rabbit blood.
Ooh, yes, please.
And for you, my dear, and she puts in front of you the tiniest shot of beer. I think you are ready for this. Of course. You see, coming from you see coming from the main room, the old man, and you see that he's carrying like 2 boots, pristine. They look really good, almost as if they had never touched the ground. And he looks at Kain and goes like, "Yeah, remember this? This was many years ago, before we left this place. Me think it's time to pass on the tradition." And he gives Kaine the boots. Kaine just grabs his beard and does a little tug on it. He does the same to her ears. And you see Kaine turns around and goes to you, Kauliki. "Listen, there's this tradition in our clan where we pass an item from a father to a child as a right of approval that you are strong enough to move on. Before all of this fucking war, apparently we were really good at mining and creating the most exquisite pieces of metalwork. But ever since the world went to shit, me old man has been just a farmer with a bunch of land. Fucking boring and depressing. But this has been passed down ever since my granddad. I've added some stuff to the collection, but I think this is probably the better one for you. So, I don't know." And she just kind of like stretches the boots to your chest. "Would you like to be my daughter?" I broke Halina. She's broken.
What? That is a beautiful gift. How does it work?
This is it. You just grab the boots, and if I ever am on my deathbed, you come to give me beer.
Is that it?
Well, there's the occasional yearly dinner with the old coot here. You also have to endure my stupid brother. He's your uncle now,
Yeah,
I guess.
where is he?
Oh, he's back in Elam with getting the shop ready. There's really not much to it. Look, kiddo, I like ya. You need a mother figure, and who else is going to give you beer if not me?
I just look at the dudes behind me like, I mean, I think they, but I think that's a very lovely gift. I don't know what family should be, could be, would be. I don't think I know. But does it mean you take Kawaha as your son as well?
Well, that's to be discussed at the future dinner, but sure, of course.
I mean, are there any responsibilities on my part? Besides giving you your beer on your deathbed, whenever that may be. Hopefully not very soon.
You just have to learn 1 or 2 of my recipes, and come give me a kiss on the cheek and tell me all about your story. But no boys. Or girls.
I mean...
Or anything in between.
Look, Marlish is fine, he's a fine lad.
Him?
What? Not him? You cannot have it. You cannot have Eric. Eric is mine.
I think I'm too old for Eric.
Why am I not included in this conversation?
Hush, yeah, go eat your bread. And drink your beer. I need you very drunk for tonight.
No. I will refuse
Great
on.
restoration immediately.
I will refuse on that account.
Yeah, your loss. Look, dear, this easy. I like you. I never liked anybody before, and I like a lot of people. I don't know if this is the best idea or whatever. I know there are more steps, like seeing you grow up. I guess you're fucking old, but sure, whatever. I just want you to know that if you're ever tired of going around with these loco bitches bastards, there's a place for you to come back. After all of the killing and the bleeding.
Oh, out of character. What the fuck? Why do you do this to me?
Because I'm mean, evil, and Machiavellic.
And what?
Machiavellic. Niccolo Machiavello.
Machiavellian? Yeah.
I'm too stupid for that.
I'll send you
It's-
a link later.
So it hurts even more when he kills Kaine.
I think this deserves a toast.
Yes.
To a new mother-daughter bond, I guess.
Hey, look, I've always been the mama bear of this group.
Sure.
Nah.
Clinks the glass.
Drink up, bitches.
What do I do with the shoes?
Put them on.
Yeah, like the old. Wow, you're not old anymore. Like the weirdo over there just said.
Okay.
Listen to me, you bastard. No fireballs in this place. There's a lot of pricey whiskey down there. So you can add to your inventory the boots of haste. Once per short rest, once per long rest, you can cast haste on yourself.
Ooh.
I have haste already.
Now you have free one.
Free haste. Free
I
haste
guess.
to cast haste and something else on somebody else.
Twin cast haste.
The boots are pretty much
you
made
can't
of
cast
leather.
spells with haste, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, the boots are made of a pretty fine leather, kind of a rose tint highlight on it, and they just have like one metal plate on where the toes would be.
So
No.
you basically gave me Doc Martens.
Sure.
Construction Doc Martens, actually.
At this point, you see Thuras waking up, really hungover, and goes, "Are we dead yet?"
Unfortunately not.
No, but I think I have a mom now.
Good for you. Now let me go grab some whiskey.
I
And
look at I look at Quarto or Jorov. I actually gesture to both of them. Are both of you or either of you able to locate Ephraim magically?
Do I have that one prepared?
I
Well,
am able to, but I need to prepare the spell, unfortunately. It will take me a while.
You just had a long
see.
rest, so I'm going to say you can prepare the spells. This is going to be part of like your waking up.
Mm.
Oh,
Sure.
very generous.
It's not a very big range, though.
I
Yeah.
would just into the weird stuff.
Hmm. My concern is wherever Ephraim is, if they are in the middle of whatever is happening in the city, I'd rather we be able to get them out of that situation and make a swift exit. Because as much as we have lost, or shall we say, what did we do, by the way, at the end of last session with the body, apart from the blight?
It was banished somewhere randomly.
Oh shit. Okay. So, as far as we know, the evidence has been gotten rid of.
Should have looted it first.
Maybe we should
have.
call it evidence if we're trying to remain innocent in all this.
Sure, the body.
You see
We still
Sturas
need-
coming with a whiskey bottle. That actually sounds worse. Let's
Which
just
would you-
call it the thing.
The
It.
thing, sure.
The thing, right?
Sure.
Just call it what it was, demon. A demon slave.
Or sure,
Sure.
the demon, whatever.
Not a slave. He was willingly participating.
Right. Well, in any case, I think our immediate goal still remains the same. We must exit the city. We might have got
How?
away.
And I will point to the dome.
Oh, we are inside the dome as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're
I
in
see.
the dome. We need to try and find out how to get out.
Hmm.
I mean, we could dig.
I think I did a check and it went underground a bit.
Yeah.
Could we
Like,
teleport through the dome?
yeah.
I mean,
Eat some chorus fruit.
somewhat.
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Ah,
Minecraft.
I mean, I
We're going
can't
to
bring
the-
anybody with me, but I can teleport. Try
That-
to, at least.
I'm more than happy to take the risk.
I think you,
There is a skyship.
but the skyship does not belong to us, which means having to commandeer it, fight our way, which we could, then fly
might-
it somewhere.
Not be the stealthiest choice to steal literally the most obvious ship in the entire empire.
Correct.
Sturas slams a whiskey bottle on the table. Look, this the ship. Ship is part of barrier, you see. So,
Yeah, if the ship goes away, the barrier goes away.
exactly, Kip. So,
Or
No
make
stealing
the
ship.
ship kaboom.
I like your style. Kai,
So
you
what-
have a good daughter.
Wait, hang on. So if we can ascertain as to which part of the ship is projecting this bubble, we be able to get out.
At this point, Ephraim and Rolling Out Stone arrive at the main entrance. Ephraim, you were kind of like taken away by Rolling Stone from the prison, and on your way to these outskirts of the town, she put you up to date with the information that everybody had up to the point where you guys disintegrated the body of the prince of the king.
We didn't disintegrate his
We
majesty.
mulched it.
More like
Demon
vinegar
tree.
edited, but
Pickled it.
Like, hell.
Breaking Bad, it.
He became compost.
Yeah.
Never know, he could have
ecological way.
teleported into the ground and will sprout a tree in many a year.
Could we? I still want to steal outside the convoys. I think we still should still steal the ship.
Of course he would.
There's 3 ships. We know one of them. We got the royal one somewhere. We know that there's currently anarchy. Why would you not steal the ship? It causes an upper hand when the revolution starts.
We don't know what the state of the city is at the moment. Like, we haven't actually looked outside.
I have.
Not
It
since
would-
this morning.
Hi!
Hello.
What is the city outside right now? Where have
Chaos.
you been?
Yeah, it's bad.
And who the fuck are you?
Where have you been, Ephraim?
Well,
Have you been
I
followed?
should. Not personally followed. No. Don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Can I
I
make?
mean,
a
they don't
check?
have the people to personally follow anyway.
Can I make a check just to see?
I assume
Sure.
you managed to escape that insert plane of everyone else, and that you all went to prison briefly as well. Well, to
Prison.
the gals.
Let's not get
The
into that detail. The less Ephraim knows, I think, the better for everyone.
That's fine, but why was you in? What was he was in prison?
You see,
Where were
Rolling
you?
Stone goes,
Prison.
"Oh,
Well-
well, top of the day to the less he knows about what."
Hi.
Roland,
Well-
don't worry about it. There's nothing. Just go back to sleep. Ephraim, you were in prison.
have some
Explain
bread?
what happens.
And I pass,
well-
pass a beer.
Well, you know, if everyone who was, everyone near the center was surrounded by the guards. I think they were trying to figure out what happened. Or at least they didn't. And we were all taken into the dungeon of the cathedral. And kept
But,
because it was rather cramped, and so we were all procedurally taken out and
but
interviewed.
Giraffe said the cathedral burned.
Well, was it cathedral? Where was it?
I said the government buildings burned. I didn't say cathedral.
Anyway, it was in the bottom of a big building. The exact architecture is not important.
Yeah.
Depends on who you're asking.
So
Kotel will remember.
I had a
this.
very strange interview.
Were you? So you were interviewed, not tortured.
No, I mean there was some magic, but it wasn't painful, so it wasn't torture.
Why would he be tortured?
Common practice normally when someone of great power dies. I believe the easiest way to get answers out of someone is from torture.
I didn't
From
hear
past
anyone
experience.
screaming, so
They never hear you scream.
well.
No,
I
but
mean, we
it's
were
not
all in small cells together. It wasn't exactly separate from everyone. I don't think they really had the time to be going into all the effort of torturing people.
You see,
Anyways.
Rolling lifts up a loaf of bread. You see, she has like the biggest balls under her eyes, the biggest bags ever. We do not torture people anymore. That was abolished
No.
3 years ago.
Anymore!
Yeah, 3
Anymore.
years ago. Pretty
I
much
look at Kali.
with the
Oh my god!
That's good.
Open eyes.
when we signed the
Hmm.
accord giving freedom to the people of Nersandia, we agreed to never torture anybody again.
How gracious of you.
How far away
So
have got?
progressive.
Yeah, Eric's like,
Hey, do not blame me. I'm just. Look, we are on an island flying above the sky. 60 years ago, there were whole explosions that could cover the horizon. I would say in 60 years, that's a lot of improvement, going from cataclysm to no torturing people.
I mean, no torturing people should be the start of anything. Not saying much. Torture was okay in my time, but still.
Well, you tell that to the gods then.
I'd tell the gods if they were here. Oh wait, what has been currently pickled and sent somewhere else in this dimension?
18 on the perception to check if
He's not
there is
God.
any spy or people following after him.
You don't notice anybody.
Okay, that's fine.
But yes, it was a strange interview.
How so?
Did you tell
Well-
him about this? Did you tell him about Gabba?
No, no. I mean,
Good.
that wasn't the question they asked.
The question they asked.
Well, one of the questions they asked. She asked Grand Magus. Very, very official. Anyway,
At this, you hear like 3 forks falling to the ground, and you see Thuras, Kaine, and Rolling Stone all looking at the front. Es que ya said Grand Magus Valeria?
yes, you know her.
Who is that?
Would Eric know about this?
I'm going to say that Eric and Kotul can give me. Actually, no need to roll. You know this person. The Grand Magus is pretty much one of the 3 people almost as famous as the king. Like there are maybe like 3 people that run the kingdom, and this is the person in charge of pretty much everything arcane, and all of the knowledge, and all of the legislations. So it would be on par with something like a prime minister of sorts.
The
And you
Ministry
see
of Defense of Magic.
Rolling Stone goes, well, she's just the best. Like, she took care of all of the rebellions, and she created so many laws, and she did so much for the people. And Thuras goes, she's a fucking faggot. That's what she is. She enslaved a lot of people. Freaking fascist. And Rolling goes, well, no, she did not enslave anybody. She just quelled a couple of rebellions that threatened the peace of the empire. And you see Rolling and Thuras start going back and forth.
Kauliki is sitting like watching paint.
Question for the DM.
Answer for the
What
player.
is Nasanzia's general feeling
Oh, they fucking
whenever
hate her.
this person? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Go say.
General feeling of Nersandia, if anybody has a title, they are fascists.
That's fine.
So Eric,
Right.
you must really enjoy this woman. You know, it destroys rebellions. People must be well acquainted.
She could be one of the few people that could slip and fall off an island and we wouldn't cry about her.
Oh, just like the king. Maybe we should try and go talk to her next. Maybe Gabriel will appear and we'll take another one out.
Well,
You didn't hear that, Edward.
I love that whenever there's a political topic coming up, there's Vishard just sitting like, I know nothing.
Kauliki is
What
like,
the fuck are you talking about, man?
In any case, I think the city is not safe for us.
Yes.
Yeah, she's one of the strongest in the Empire, so best not to get on the wrong side of her.
Even so, a dome covering an entire city cannot be that powerful. If it has to cover such a large area. So either we have to take our chances with breaking through, or we have to find the source and shut it down if you want to leave the city.
I mean,
maybe she is the source?
I doubt it.
One
If she
person can.
personally maintains a spell, then it
Yeah.
will only take a moment of loss of concentration for it to drop. So I think it's probably a device or a
Yeah.
group or an arcane
Most
circle
likely.
or something.
Well, maybe we take the ship.
It
Can
would
I
be-
get a
Take-
general vibe of Rolling a Stone, or when she hears us talking about taking the ship, slipping and falling off the island?
Taking the ship
Uh,
would result in too much collateral damage, I would feel.
yes, that's my word.
Not
Roll
all
an
party, I don't care.
fuck's sake, never mind.
I wonder
Kaine
I
kind of
mean,
glares at you, Shoral.
A 10?
But then, I mean, the general feeling is that Rolling Stone is full fangirl, going about all of the glorious deeds of the Grand Makers, and Rolling is kind of going more woke. I know what the other side of this shit.
So I'm going to, because we are very indecisive, and I will not steer from this course, and I will ask the only person who is enough balls in his party to actually go up against people, the rest. Would you take a ship with
What?
them?
Sure, let's
you
fucking
take
kill
it?
them.
Let's do it, see? It's true.
It is not
They-
about taking.
Wait.
It is not
Which
about
ship are we
having
talking about?
inaction.
That ship?
The big one. Yes.
Fucking no, you're crazy.
Listen, if we take the ship, we can take it to Nisandia, we can start a revolution, and Nisandia can become the new kingdom of the place.
The revolution has already started, as far as I have heard. All
You
around
see-
the empire, there is rebellion.
So if
You
the
see-
revolution has started, let's start even better and take the ship.
You see pretty
I don't
much
want to-
Rolling, Kaine's parents, everybody kind of just drops whatever they have on their hand and stare at Shoral. And Turas goes like, they at least have a plan, or are you just walking to your death? That thing has cannons. Cannons that could destroy this whole fucking city in like a minute.
I do have a plan.
Have you thought about the flying guards? The hundreds of guards that can fly? Oh wait. Have you thought about the
anyone
magic
steer a
detection
flying
devices?
Yes.
Can anybody
I've done
steer
it
a
once
flying
before.
ship? No idea.
I think
I've done it once before.
Wait, Efren, can you fly a ship?
Well, I did it once before, remember?
Yeah,
Right.
we all did, right? We tried to prevent the ship from crashing or something.
Jorov, would you like to share whatever percentage of a plan you have about possibly stealing the ship?
Right.
Rolling Stones. Nobody's stealing a ship. We are just waiting.
I want to entertain the thoughts because Jorov seems to be very on board with this idea.
I've been waiting so long for someone to give me this. Right. There are guards patrolling. So far away that no one else can see them. We staff behind them, we take the guards up, we take their armor. 2 of us, maybe 3 of us get up there, we stay ourselves onto the ship, we get on board, we take the helm, by quick and by force. We then accelerate as fast as we can. You need to be ready to get on the ship while we can, and then we get out of it. We get in, we get out, we get fast. We don't fuck about. We're not going to go fighting. Yes.
What if there's some sort of
Hand it
combination or lock to protect the helm against intruders, basically?
I have something in my sleeve for that. But wait there. We have questions. Hand at the back. There's a cat woman.
What if the dome is attached to the ship, and if we fly away, the dome takes everything with it?
Well, it looks like we'll have a lot of people stuck in the dome coming with us and probably falling off the side. That's how revolutions start. Bloody and deadly. Now the next question. Big cat man.
What happens when we are up against forces far too strong for us on the ship?
That's what cannons are for. Next, I guess in one of the 3 that's pointing at me.
But Turas is
Even just getting
with her tail, the tail just pointing up. Look, idiot. I know you just came out of whatever mambo-shambo prison of Mashiki you were in. But here it's easy. You don't have the crest, you don't have the access, you don't have the authority. You need a crest with a magical authority of very high level to control that level of magical equipment.
Look like we've got to fight someone and cut their hand off.
That might not be necessary.
I slap Ephraim on the back with like a really good crash. This is the kind of attitude we need.
I'm not convinced of doing it all this way, but I mean, there are the other ships.
But the issue with the other ships is we'd have to go close inland, and we only know where one is. Well, we know where two is. One above us, one back home, or back in the capital, as you keep telling us, and we have the other one that just disappeared somewhere with the little man that... I don't know if he's annoying or not, but I've been told that he is annoying.
Wait, I'm slightly confused. How many ships are there currently around us?
One ship around us, but 3 ships in the world.
3 big ships.
Right. So we have.
No, 3 overall.
So, even if. Right. I mean, sure, we'll go. We can. Let's say this all goes to plan. We get the guard's uniform.
Yes.
We manage to go up to the ship through some miracle, through some force of will.
Catapult.
I can't wear armor.
A
That
cloak.
means that you
A
won't be with
uniform.
us.
It would have to be a uniform.
I also think the party needs to be small strike force.
I don't think that is a good idea.
I haven't been entirely honest with you.
No shit.
Shocking.
What a
No.
surprise.
Shocking.
Oh, my master, I need to continue. I was part of the Soul Strike Force for Krylos. I have experience of getting in and out of things quite fast and with some efficiency. 11 what?
Nothing.
Don't worry.
Trauma roll.
Oh,
Keep
Krylos,
going.
shit. So, all I can say is trust me.
No. My issue with your plan is that basically it hinges on killing as many people as possible.
Look,
Yes, that's my issue as well.
I agree with Bishar and Ephraim here. Even if we do take the ship, there will be collateral damage. Whilst you are talking about going in, surgically striking a point in the ship, there are soldiers, there are people who are merely following orders. You've said to trust you because you have experience in such operations. I have not personally seen how your skill set has come out in force with it yet, because if that was the case, you would have been able to get yourself across the bridge without a carriage, which means you, by that account, means you can get us out of the dome without getting a ship. That is what you're implying, is that your skill sets are so vastly surgical, you'd be able to get us out, in and out, anywhere.
I can get myself out.
Care to share?
Nope.
And then you tell us to trust you. If you cannot even share that bare minimum detail, Jorov, maybe one of us can replicate that ability. Maybe one of us can replicate that skill set. We don't know. We need to be able to do this. If one of us is able to replicate it, that means twice the chances of success, of being able to go through that barrier.
How does this work? 'Cause I'm just double checking for me. Chat amongst yourselves.
You see Thuras goes, yeah, sure, Ralph, tell us how the fuck you do it.
I
And
may.
Kaine was, well, I would certainly like to know Mr. Shorl's story. And you see the old man going, what the fuck is Shor, Ralph?
I look at Ephraim. Ephraim, you.
When when I was in that interrogation, it was strange. The Magus, she started asking me questions, and then she talked to me in my head, which I meant we know has happened before, but I assume was not ordinary procedure, and
Wait, it happened before?
I think Ephraim is referring to Vishar speaking to us in
yes,
our heads.
yes.
He
Not
talks to
that-
you in your head? He never
I
talked
have-
to me.
Didn't I?
Occasionally.
Nope.
Mental mind link.
I mean, I can if you want.
No, that's fine.
That was mental, by the way.
And I didn't tell her anything in regards to Gabba or that whole ordeal. But I told her enough about other runs we'd had with corruption, like the granary, and just like with the goblins, not the whole Gabba thing, but just with the goblins. She knows something broader than I'd think, just as an official. She knew. Well,
If you
I
mentioned the falsetto, maybe that is a good thing
Yeah.
to discuss.
yes. I mean, I think she mentioned the group, right? She mentioned the falsetto. Then she gave me a glyph. You can't quite see it, but it is there.
When
top
you
of my-
mention falsetto, you see Rolling going. Why would the Grand Magus mention that group of terrorists? They are fucking heinous, terrible people.
You have a long.
What are they?
I was gonna say, yeah. Who does? Do any
I
of
would
us
say
know this?
Eric and Quattle would probably know, and Ephraim, certainly. Falsetto, they have been some sort of revolutionary, bona fide, slash terrorist. There have been, over the last 5 or so years, many events where sometimes they appear like Robin Hoods that just steal money and give it to the orc tribes that are going through a terrible winter. Sometimes they just blow up a building just to kill one high officer of the empire. Sometimes they just do rallies and speeches about how the royals and the nobles are drying everybody to death. Some other times, I don't know, it's like there seem to be this sort of like different branches inside of the organization. Some of them seem to be taking more extreme measures, and some seem to be taking more society-aware measures.
Was one of them. The Robin Hood guy.
Yeah, we met them, yeah.
Think he did mention
You have told-
falsetto.
Yeah, he did, yeah. It's in
And-
your then half Elteritz human bard from Falsetto.
Oh,
Yeah, you are
shit.
thinking of Lenhart Elteritz
Yeah.
and Kevin.
And
Yes.
also, the landlady in the tavern? She had papers
the-
regarding it. Falsetto was that a different organization? I can't remember.
Yeah, the
Esme.
Esme
Esme.
on the tavern in the middle of the Almiria's forest also seem to have some sort of notes and papers linking them to falsetto.
Oops.
Yeah,
Which I
they-
think Rick has still.
yes.
I did share them around, I think.
I don't
did
remember if you
present
guys
them to
took
the
the
group
papers. All I remember is that you burned the house down.
No, I broke into the attic and I basically swiped whatever I found, I think. But I didn't write it down, so I'm not really sure what exactly I took.
Okay, wait. This opens up a new avenue then. If
Yes.
this person is who she claims to be, or they claim to be, then we have our way out.
Well, we're going to just trust someone who has high power, who looks like they've put a tracking beacon on his hands,
Well,
and
yeah.
has. I suspect that if we told, she ever did find out that I put my hand over Ephraim's ears, killed and disintegrated the king, we'd probably ended up tortured for the rest of life, because that would definitely happen. Also, Rolling, they're not terrorists. They were nice to me and got me over the bridge. They had a nice cart that they just stole.
So then,
And who
how
did
is
they
that
steal
any
it from?
different?
You say something there, Aaron?
I said, how is that any different to you telling us to trust you on how to get past the barrier without telling us how you're getting past the barrier?
Right. If you want to show me, if let's get to the barrier and I can do something, I can take one willing creature with me and I can get through.
Can we
Okay.
then hop with all of us?
Fucking hell, you really gonna make me use that much spell slots?
Yes.
Yes.
Secret tunnel.
Well, we can also
Well,
try to-
Let's have that as a. What is it? A spell? What is it?
Without
guess-
going, it's a mention though.
I look around the others. Are we able to replicate this?
possibly. I could try with
Not-
my glyph.
Not
it's
familiar
modified.
with this. No.
See.
I do have a short range teleport, but I cannot bring anybody with me.
Or we could use the dimension door to get into the hull of a ship and potentially rob that. You say rub my hands together?
But
Yeah.
then that still provides the issue of you plus one. 2 people against 200 possibly well-trained soldiers.
So if we have a distraction.
Malish, you started to say something, I think?
Sorry, I do apologize. Marley.
Please tell me you have some sort of a teleport.
Marlish was like, sorry, dude, I wasn't paying attention. What you guys talking about?
Do you
Fuck
have
my
some?
life.
Do you have something sort of a teleport? Could you bring us outside of the barrier?
Oh, so that's a barrier. Okay.
Yes,
That
that is
suddenly
a
what you
barrier.
guys were talking about makes sense. Like, why? I had my hand in a dude's head like a couple of hours ago.
Darling,
Like,
I'm asking,
Let's.
I'm
let's-
asking you if you have a teleport spell. Some sort of spell.
yeah, sure, all of them.
How many people can you take with you when you teleport?
All of them, I guess.
Then we have our way out.
We could take a ship. I know what you're saying, but we could take a ship. We need to start a revolution, people.
I
Can you hear
want
the
to.
people sing?
I want to go with you on this, but it's such a bad idea.
We are full of bad ideas.
I mean, my glyph may get us through the wall. Given who it was looking by, it may engender some trust if we should just ask to be let on board. I don't know.
Shit.
We could
Or it
pretend
is
to be
a tracker, and if you go outside of the wall, you go kabloom.
Well, no, I don't think that makes sense because she suggested told me that I should meet her in Ella. So I don't see why she would put something to explode me if I left the city if she wanted me to get to Ella. You know?
Sorry, dude, kind of
Um,
got distracted again there. You said teleport?
Yes.
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 Are you okay with seeing a lot of dead people? And maybe
Yes.
falling through the land down?
What
Just
do
maybe,
you
just
mean?
maybe. I mean, last time
Well-
I tried this one, it was kind of like to escape curfew and go to the bar back at home. I may have screwed up and fell down like 20 floors of the tower in just a few seconds. Though I got it totally covered. That won't happen at all. Definitely no.
Can I
How
I insight?
Insight.
Yeah, can I insight check him on as he's describing this?
21 for me.
He's super confident
Would
that
a
it won't
31
happen
be enough?
He's
I'm not-
extremely confident
I'm
with a
natural
hint of
20.
doubt that it won't happen again. Like
Do you
95% sure that you guys won't fall down in the first few seconds.
polish?
Eric.
This teleportation spell. Are you able to teleport us over great distances?
Oh no, fuck no. I mean,
That's a slight problem.
I just read it on one of the songs. There was like this chick with like long blonde hair, and she would like jump onto something and appear on the other side, and I was like, wow, that was such a cool show. How did she do it? She was talking about all of the eras about her life and how she would change. So I just started kind of like looking into some sort of songs or ballads that could get me to other places. And like the best thing I did manage is like once I got a bunch of like zombie dancer dudes, and we all walked through a house and appeared on the other side, and they were dancing like crazy behind me. So pretty close. I mean, yeah, I can go through solid things, I guess.
What about magical barriers?
That I have no fucking idea. One way to find out. Hey, sure, Alf.
Stupid question. Can someone maybe try to dispel it first?
Nothing is stupid coming from you.
I think we would need to find the source to be able to dispel it.
Can we dispel this shit?
Well, it'd be an area of effect, right?
We dispel the shit. We
So
can
we
dispel the shit.
Yeah.
And call the thing at the same time.
We could. I mean, we could also dispel part of the shield, right? And allow us to go through. Because it doesn't have to be the entire cone. It just has to be an area of effect.
Or
Would that not send alarms of powerful people who potentially are clerics and other
there
people
are no
that
clerics.
And stealing the ship would it?
the difference with the charity?
How is stealing the ship less riskful than dispelling a 10 feet area of the barrier?
So we can lie. One that just looks like falsetto. Potentially, it is falsetto, isn't it? Whatever the name of the tourist thing is, just taking the ship, and now that's in terrorist hands, which may be a bit alarming. But what, they're going to come blow us up with a big warship? Whereas if we get caught potentially opening a big hole, we then have to fight and be on the run because we are powerful wizards and clerics and sorcerers or whatever we are in this world. Because all you are weird. I feel like I'm the only warmer one here
Since when?
since I first arrived.
Well, in
If
any
only
case,
one person is normal, you're the weird one.
yeah. Let's.
Touche.
I think.
You see, as you all guys
think
are
we need-
having your work council, Kaine comes with this giant metallic pot and puts it into the middle and goes like, Kaina, you all can keep talking, but just have breakfast, eat my druid wrap, and let's get ready to do whatever shit you guys want to do, because you are the fucking craziest thing that happened in my life, and I am a grave robber. And with that,
I thought you were an explorer.
now come on, we are family here. You all know the truth. And with that, we are going to go take a small break, because I'm about to explore. So
G&G party planning, baby.
yeah.
Let's see the shit.
So we still haven't killed anyone. We still ain't killed anyone. That's
Let's
good.
spend 3 hours making a plan only for it to fail within 20 seconds.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay,
That's it.
I might need to go to the
Okay.
If the
Viva
D&D
can
book
admit
told me
it.
anything, you can plan all you want, but you just gotta fail beautifully.
Beautifully being the keyword. Be back in a
I'm gonna
minute.
become a bard.
As you guys are having your breakfast, I'm always amazed by how fast Halina can get into her default position. As you guys are having your breakfast,
I just kicked my little toe on my computer edge.
that sucks.
Why?
New table woes.
I'm dying. Okay, fine, right?
What's the plan? What are you guys doing?
I mean, I like
Outside?
sitting and doing nothing for 5 days
Alright.
until shit figures itself out.
The outside of the house is a cacophony of cheers with announcements from a flying vessel telling them to go back home, with marching of many footsteps and many guards and soldiers, followed by more cheers from opposite directions, and from time to time a loud explosion.
Looking through the door and window, what is happening?
From
It
this
looks
point
like
you don't
the
see
approach.
much. You just see a bunch of like smokes in the middle of the city.
How high is the house?
Oh, just a regular 2-floor.
Could I?
It's
Could
like
I?
15 feet? I have no idea how feet works.
I
It's
don't know, like
You have 2 of them, now you walk on them.
7 meters, maybe.
Yeah, roughly about that.
Like 5 or 6 meters. And...
What is the roof situation? Is it like flat roof? Is it like top to roof?
As we discussed previously, it's the best efficiency for a house, so it is flat. It is a cube. No other house is valid.
Fair.
But if snow comes, it
Shut up.
What?
breaks
You
up.
should say a queue for a no. This room's for a house.
No,
There has to be that. What
you're
do you mean?
wasting so much space.
But it's not about space. It's about structural integrity.
That's
The
fucking
architects
magic.
will permit this.
When the DM and the player argue, Kaolika would go outside on the out.
Also, it's not like the rest of the house is not a cube. It's like you have the cube, and then there's a pyramid on top of it. So if anything, you have more space.
Okay, you want to get into this?
I
Fuck
would
it.
like-
So, because of the high winds of this environment, triangle roofs are not an option. It's either a bolt, a dome, or a square.
So if it's windy, you just hear the wind
Pretty much.
yelling. Yelling is not a word for wind. Screaming out over your house every night.
Kaolika
Alright.
would like to go up to, like, climb up the roof and look what the hell is happening.
So it's kind of the same situation. Even standing on the roof of the
Mage
house.
armor first.
Uh,
Whatever is happening, we are in a revolution. Kaolika is not going without mage armor.
so
You're very loud all the time.
Loud. Pardon.
Well,
so
she's German.
it is kind
I'm
of
Polish,
like
Polish people are loud.
it is kind of
German
like
people are quiet.
a French Revolution case where you see a lot of people staying at home, a lot of people grabbing pitchforks and just running to the Harmonious Plaza. You see. Why don't you give me a perception check? This is kind of the outskirts of the town, so it's harder to see.
Yes, that was good.
Perception, that would be a 10.
Okay. Okay. So. You
Can we
see.
gain my passive perception, which is better?
No. So we see from time to time people with bags packed on their back, some traveling carts running. You see most of the carts, most of the heavy load being left behind. As you see people with whatever they can carry just storming to the gates. You hear a lot of clamoring coming from the gate. This house is close to gate 2, which is the one that you use to come into Kerth. On the other side, towards the center of the city, you hear explosions and clamoring. You hear the occasional repetitive message coming from the flying vessel. You see knights in their flying armors just circling the city around. From time to time, you see smoke starting to rise from some other place. And after you are just witnessing all of this for like a couple of minutes, you see how one of the guards that is flying, patrolling around, something explodes on the guard as you see something dark in the shape of a humanoid plummeting to the ground, as all of the other guards that were flying around start swarming out of that place and start to make like formations in the sky.
Where?
Near the center of the city.
Okay. How close to the dome edge are we right now?
About depends. If you do manage to avoid all of the people that have been stuck on their way to the door, it would be between maybe 5 to 10 meters to the gate. So it's like
Shut the door.
Yeah.
oh,
Dome.
so
like,
to the dome.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would be about 5 minutes in a straight line. You see that this house has like a lot of farmland surrounding it.
Yeah, how much of a private estate or private yard is the estate of Kaine going up to the dome?
Yeah, pretty much.
Just leave. Just try to leave. Do I see what happens to the people that arrive at the gate at the dome?
You cannot see it from here, though. You can hear a lot of like clamoring. More and more people seem to be heading that way, though nobody seems to be coming back.
So no one is coming back? Is it like getting like traffic jammed?
How long do you want to like be looking up here? Just like a couple of minutes, or?
Yeah, like a few minutes. And if Kaine has a chimney on her roof, I would shout down the chimney what I see.
Yeah, so in like 5 to 10 minutes of you just watching up here, you see many families heading to the gate. No people seem to be coming back.
And the queue is shortening.
No. It's just
Okay,
that
so they are
you don't
stuck.
see the end of the queue. You just see people heading that way.
Are they moving or are they just standing and waiting?
You are here. This is where your vision ends. You see people coming and going there, and there are like many other houses kind of obstructing your vision, so you cannot see into where these people are headed.
Okay.
So we want to head towards the dome, I guess.
Can I make a
Answer the
suggestion?
product.
We are
And
not
it's not. No, this is not. You're not there. You can't have a conversation. You're up on the roof.
You can, but you have reached your quota for bad ideas for the day.
Could we go try and make contact with the falsettos in town? Because
Do you know-
currently we can hear the explosions outside. We can obviously hear there's some sort of power struggle going on. They must be being able to get in and get out. And I kind of look at Eric at this point, and I'll happily roll a persuasion check.
I
If-
have an addendum to that idea.
Okay. But I was
Go on.
going to say,
No, go.
but if we can get to them if the revolution has started, I'd rather be on the side of the revolutionaries at this very present moment in time than potentially, and I kind of look out the window and how hopefully I catch that man crash into the ground dying, than be on those sides that are being flanked from guerrilla warfare. This, by the sounds of it, from everything I've heard and read in the newspapers, I kind of get the newspaper out where they're about the orc hole in the ground and stuff like that. Everyone is against the Empire. It was only held together by the man that we pickled.
That you what?
Pickled.
Manufacturing. Sorry, someone just quickly manufacturing.
Mummified.
I even doubled down on it. Pickled.
I'm sorry. My ears might be a little muffled from spending my whole night listening to my superiors about the plans that they need to do. Can you repeat, what did you do?
We killed Gabba, and we pickled her.
We pickled her.
Give me a deception
I
check.
rolled. That's simple. I got 23.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And she grabs. Gaulik is not even there. So she looks at Eric and goes like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Eric. I know that she was a dear friend to you all."
She is.
It's fine. She was a bitch. She tried to kill the king. Anyway, if we get to the
You are
falsettos,
telling her that we are going to the falsettos who want to kill the king.
the king's dead. We all know that. If we can get
No
to the
one saw
falsettos.
the body.
If we can get to the falsettos, we can either maybe even if it's a small group and we're not back within say 4 hours, you all leave without us, and we meet at a rendezvous outside the circle. But I feel like getting someone on our side could potentially easier to get into Sandy as well.
Feeling the bullshit that is coming up from.
An addendum to this. Quarto has the ability to send messages.
Yes.
Could we not send a message to the Grand Magus? Make plans to get out.
That was my suggestion. She said we should, but I should meet her in Ilan, but that may not be the highest priority. It may be easier to send a message.
Remind me in regards to where we are. Let me look at my geographic.
We're in Kurth.
So you are in the district of Lorelei in the city of Kurth. You would have to go through one more district, and there you can choose to either take the bridge to Nersandia or to Elam.
Yeah.
So we're at Kurth, so we would need. Okay, so we're basically once we get to AzerrA, we would either have to make the choice of either going to Nersandia or going to Elam.
Yes.
Shit. Okay.
Then we can go from one to the other then later.
We can, but
Yes.
my worry is that we're losing time.
Are we also potentially putting faith into a woman who, again, let's not forget, is the Prime Minister of Magic and is one of the highest in command, and we have the only suspected fugitive messaging her? It feels like we're trusting a lot in politics when there is a current revolution going on outside.
At this point,
let's put
you
this.
all hear an alarm. Tung, tung.
What do I see?
Kauliki,
Sure, I'll
you
put it
see
too.
surrounding the flying vessel in the middle of Kurth, a dome of illusion appears, similar to the one that happened when the king was doing his speech. You see a figure of a regal woman in robes, glowing amethyst eyes and ebony hair, as she just crosses her hands and goes, "Dear citizens of the Longstad Empire, it is with grave sorrow and discomfort that I bring this message to all of the districts and cities of our glorious civilization. Our leader has been murdered by a savage, and you see at this point the illusion, she seems to be crying, and the image changes to that of Quottle's face.
Well, we're fucked.
This creature is the suspected murderer last seen with the Majesty, and then the image splits in two to show the face of Gava. We suspect that they are together with the members of Falsetto, a terrorist organization that has been coursing the Empire into terrible situations. The illusion cuts back to her face. These are grave times, but we shall push forward together. We survived the fracturing, the end of the world. Sure, the last cleric, the beacon of light that had kept us going for these 60 years, is gone. But the government is still here. The Empire will do its best to bring... And you see that she stops for a second. To bring peace and order back to all the lands. May
Can
Longus
I
be...
make an insight check?
You can
on
make an insight
English?
check. Sure, why not?
Well,
Mm.
what happens? Can
I
I
will
pull a race
swear.
file at Quattle and go, well, I am a cleric, so it's not the last cleric. Does that mean I become king and potentially pardon you? As I
No, technically I am as well, so.
What?
Let's do a thing.
Technically, my mom is as well.
Well.
That would be a 17 plus 7. Do the
That's
math. 24.
24.
24. So you see as she stops for a second, there seems to be doubt, sorrow, anxiety in her face. All she's not sure about what she's about to do. And at that point you see how the cannons on the vessel point downward as she goes. May Longus guide us. And the cannons open fire
Okay.
5 times on different buildings. The smoke
Okay.
that you, Kaulike, had been seeing immediately gets covered in a pillar of light. I need Kaulike to make a Constitution saving throw.
I guess we all see that though, because we're all looking out the window.
Yeah, but she's the one that sees at it directly because she's higher. Did
I
you
kind of look.
roll
I'm gonna.
a 15 or lower?
Yeah, I rolled a 14 plus 9, 23.
You're fine. You shall see this beaming light cover the town for a second. There's but a moment of silence as it very quickly and very violently implodes into a pillar of light that then encircles. It seems to be covered in a thin layer of ice as it starts collapsing on itself. And the smoke that you had been seeing there is no more. Just the cries of a lot of people running you start to hear.
I'm gonna slam. Jorov is gonna slam his fist as hard as he can on the table. We need to act now.
Agreed.
We are
Yes,
either with the Empire or against the Empire.
I grab my glaive. I look at the rest. We either get to the ship now because this is now they are now operating a scorch earth directive. We need to either stop that ship or
Karoliki is
we
frozen on the roof.
I
I'll
look
pull my-
around. Yeah, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I pull my axe out and go, you're right. We, this Scarecrow, if this is anything like the wars of Krylus and Ambrose, either everything in that city is going to be demolished and everything on the outside, or they may leave. Maybe they were just trying to kill it. But we have two options. We decide now. We either go for the ship or we run. But
Does the ship? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, but you need to decide which side you're on.
I know which side I'm on.
You
Does the
see,
ship look like it's firing again, or was it just these 5 singular targets?
it's just fire a single target. You see at this point a lot of the flying knights seem to be making their way back to the flying vessel, except for a couple that just seem to be descending. One of them actually descends closer to you guys, like across the street, and you see as he just pulls his helmet and throws it into the ground as he starts helping people and running towards the gate.
I like him.
It
That's your new
seems
husband.
that with Vishar's perception, the ship is preparing to fire another shot.
Let's go up.
We need to go up. We can't let this happen now.
I
I go out the door. Kaliki, get in here.
I look at Thuraz, I look at Rolling Stone, and
He
Kaina.
murders people.
Are you with us, or are you against us?
They murdered people.
Thura,
They
exploded
should be left
people.
out of this.
Thura just puts her hand on Kauliki's shoulder and looks at Shorelf. Do I even need to ask? Let's fact it up. And in a blink, you
That's my
see,
girl.
just like her sword appeared out of nowhere many times before, out of nowhere she's covered in a full plate armor with a greenish coloration. It seems to be glimmering green, and after a few seconds you start seeing how from the bracers smoke starts coming out as she seems to just be smoking. Even her tail
Can
is
I-
covered in scale armor.
Can I go find that soldier that's through his helm?
He's already.
Or is he just like...
He just waltzed towards
Okay.
the gate too. The helmet is still there though.
Yeah, I'm picking up the helmet for someone. And like... You? Can you help me? Can you please help me? To the guard if I see him
Oh.
again. Long gone, okay. Helmet.
You can
I look
add
at
a
Marlish.
+1 medium armor helmet.
I look at Marlish. Marlish, are you able to disguise several of us at once?
Yeah. Sure. Do you want to be like groupies or zombies?
Are you able to do neither and make us look like the guards?
Yes, of course, dude. But where's the fun in that?
Can you do all of us?
We're about to fuck shit up on a boat.
Oh, so you guys already decided? Oh, fine. I was getting bored of you guys going for like 3 hours.
Already? We've been discussing this for 3 hours.
Seeming, if he has the seeming spell, then it's 10
Yep.
creatures, I think.
Any
gonna put
number
my
of
hand
creatures
on-
that you can see within range. He also- yeah,
That's all of them, yeah?
like there
Yeah,
was
pretty much.
once where I got all of the Zambitans and I pressed all of them
Darling, I
into
love
like
your stories, but just do No talk.
They were magical
Like
girls,
skill.
and you see that he just snaps his finger. A guitar comes and he starts doing a riff of smoke in the water, and like smoke coming out of the wooden planks. Everybody is covered in a shiny armor. Now, dude, just so you know, it's all smoke and mirrors. Like, and he throws a punch at Shoralf in the chest.
You ain't gonna fucking hit me.
I rolled a
I'm
19.
Shield.
no.
You- you-
What's that with shield for this? Oh, you.
I rolled a 19 plus 4 for a total of 23.
3.
No, you said. Okay. Yeah, whatever.
Sure.
I am pushing the helmet towards anyone.
You take
That's
1 point of damage. See, there's nothing. Like there's no armor. It's just soft, oddly hairy chest hair.
One of us, preferably not the Beast Walkers, will need to take point here
I'll take points.
because we cannot.
Who's grabbing
Go.
the helmet? Sorry.
Who wants it? I
Oh.
think it's good.
I'm gonna put my hand out and go. Does anybody else want to take it?
What does it
I
do?
think I could wear it.
I can't wear it. I don't think Portal can wear it. I don't think.
No.
Anybody proficient with
Did
I can
not
wear
wear it?
medium armor?
Yeah. I can
I
wear
am.
medium armor, yeah.
I can,
No,
but
you
I
can't because it's metal.
Yeah.
There is
Oh,
ain't
right,
doing
yeah.
metal.
don't.
It's a bit weird reasoning,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, I can,
No, I
but
can't.
I don't think it makes sense for a Beast Walker to be
Yeah, like,
part of the guard.
I was going to say,
Um,
if it's an enclosed helmet, then Vishar will refuse it either way.
Up to you, Ephraim. What do you want to do?
Mm.
It's whoever's got better persuasion or deception, I think.
Oh, fucking me then.
Because we're basically just gonna disguise ourselves as the stormtroopers boarding the Death Star.
And I'm gonna put my hand on Eric's shoulder secretly and just go. If I was you, I'd probably start praying that Gavin turns up because we need all the help we can get. Maybe just reach out to him.
how?
I don't know.
Um,
Just think.
Shoralf, as you put on the helmet, you hear a message in repeat. All forces retreat. All forces retreat. Ignore
repeat that.
ignore the citizens. Ignore pleas for help. All forces to the Grand Magus. And the message just keeps repeating. You get the feeling, Shoralf, with your knowledge, that this is a two-way communication system.
Oh, great.
Okay. I'll say. Copy command. Returning to ship. I'll take the helmet off. Kind of put it away, like over there. Kind of get your family out, and say goodbye to your house. Old man, may take some wine. Or whiskey, or whatever you drink. We need to go now. Is everyone ready?
Let's go.
Ready.
I put the helmet on, returning to ship.
But I look at Jorov. Request for pickup.
They can fly.
Yeah.
Command,
No.
can we have troops on the ground? There are, how many of us are there?
How many are coming?
We're coming. At least the 6 of us.
Six,
Yeah.
six,
Seven.
seven for count.
8.
Yeah.
8
Well,
plus.
it's kind gonna come. It's kind of gonna take a family, surely.
Rolling goes like, oh well. I mean, the Empire was kind of shady already, so I'm going back to Elan.
They are bombarding the city.
Yes,
Bombarding the citizens.
I know, dear.
Killing them.
Yes,
Let's go for this stone.
I'm going to Elan.
How?
I'm just going to ensure that Mr. and Mrs. Kaine here get out of the city safe. using my connections if I need to. And we are making our way to Elam where the kills are not killing everybody. And Kaine goes,
Ironshire, Mr. and Mrs. Ironshire.
I fucking second that. Okay, mom, dad, time to pack.
Kaine's not coming.
Kaine is
Okay.
not coming.
So it's just the six of
Thuras
us.
and,
Or
Thuras and
Marlish.
Marlish.
Marlish and
And
Yeah,
Cyril.
those- yeah.
can I get a pick up crate, please?
Marlish kind of goes like,
and I'll put like
dude, sorry, one thing. Do you guys need me?
yes. I must say,
I'm
fucking
coming.
hate your guts.
Oh,
I need you.
Oh,
I say I need you.
I thought
I'll persuade
we
him
were,
if I need to.
I thought we were like dudes and friends. We slept in the same room, dude. And now you're telling me
I
that
think
you
that was-
hate me? Ouch.
I tolerate you.
I need you?
Yep, that's good enough for me. Let's go.
Yeah, so I'll put like, I'll say pick up for 8. Can I get a pick up for 8? Like a 5-minute walk, not next to the house. So if they did bombard, it's not going to hit. Well, they would. I don't. You know, just a bit away from the house. We have 3 wounded.
Hearing that, I will take any knife or my own.
I will give you guidance
Why?
for your speed.
Why don't you make me
Sorry.
a deception check?
Add a d4.
Come on, your character knows how to do only one thing.
D6, is it? Wait, no.
8 plus 10 is 18. Plus, actually, I get more than that. It's actually. Sorry, I just realised something. 2
It's your
seconds.
D4.
Yeah, so it's. I think. 23.
Nice. And
Well, that
beats a
water
natural
does not
one.
look like water, right? Water
Uh,
does not look like water.
Quotl looks.
Assume.
I mean, nobody told Marlish to do that, so Quotl looks like a turtle with an armor.
How long does
I mean,
invisibility last?
I look like a lion in armor, so
Now you look
we're
like
in a group.
a lion in a different armor.
Yeah, I mean, we basically look like people in the guard's armor, because that was the request from Marlish, is that our armor looks like the guards.
Pretty much, yeah.
Could I great room? Oh, bollocks, that's right. Actually, I could do that. That's fine. Could I great? How long does great invisibility last? An hour.
Great
Let's-
invisibility is
let's-
10 minutes.
Minute.
10 minutes or 1 minute?
Great.
Greater is shorter, because greater is more for combat.
right.
I think it's like a minute
Maybe
or
just like 1
Yeah.
hour pure invisibility.
So I could cast invisibility on him if needs be.
Shoralf.
I mean, we'll come to that when we need to.
Shoralf, you get a message back going. En route. We'll be there shortly, soldier. Be careful for flying explosions.
Roger.
At this point, another pillar of ice that starts collapsing on itself. As you start seeing surrounding the flying vessel, dozens of explosions, dozens of projectiles being thrown at it. You see every flying guardsman that has not made it to the ship starts to collapse as they seem to be shooting something at them.
I look at F and go, does your signal on your hands do anything?
I don't know exactly in this capacity. But we should try.
If you can. I'm taking the hat off because obviously it's too late. Otherwise, it's going to sound weird. If you can do something to stop those firing near gate 2, that would probably help us out and give everyone a chance coming this way.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to say something. You guys get the feeling they are not shooting indiscriminately. They seem to be shooting the cannons only at the places that... Well, you are not entirely certain, but they don't seem to be shooting indiscriminately.
Where are they shooting at?
Mostly near the Harmonious Plaza in the center of town, where Shoralf had seen most of the buildings being set on fire and most of the revolts.
We're probably shooting at the Falsetto gang or revolt. They're putting down a violent revolution. How quaint.
How far out is our lift to the ship?
Put the helmet back on. Command how close he'll pick up.
T-2. 2 minutes.
Roger. Take my hat off. 2 minutes.
Roger.
I'm just
Roger,
gonna.
Roger.
I'm gonna look up and be heartfelt and go. If this all goes wrong, it's been a nice week. I'm stretching my legs away from this library. Good luck, everyone.
And I guess we'll just wait for
1
the
minute.
transport.
1 minute go by. You see Rolling Stone, Kaine, the Iron Shires, and as they are running towards the gate 2, you see the old man is like grabbing a backpack full of things. Kaine is just leaving everything behind, and they are gone. Another minute go by. In front of you, in the middle of the street, you see a light starts to illuminate. Sort of an illusion of a barrier of a circle starts spinning, cautioning you to step away. And in a surge of arcane blast, you see a figure standing in front of you.
Invisibility on bottom.
Almost as if having been teleported here. You see Grand Magi Valeria standing in front of you, in the middle of the street.
Is that the same person that I saw talking?
Yes, that is the same person that you saw
Yes.
on
As
the
soon
illusion.
as there is a something Ugashaka message thingy, invisibility on bottom immediately.
Sure. You see, she appears. She just steps one step towards you guys. Well, soldiers, you requested for an extraction, so let's go to the capital. And at this point, you see she looks at Ephraim. Oh,
Is there a problem, Magnus? So I did roll deception.
Insight check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, I might as well do it. God. Not pretty. Sorry, that was loud.
Not great on the insight for me. It's going to be
16.
17 plus 7.
24.
24.
You see a conflicted face. She came willing to teleport away a group of people, a group of soldiers, very highly trained, very elite. And the moment that she cross eyes with Ephraim, her demeanor seems to have changed. And you see a conflict and doubt on her face. Is this all of you? Is there anybody else?
Magnus. There were 8. Oh shit! Am I going to play this one? There were 8 of us, but the one, the Scarpets, fearing. You know what the theaters are like, man. Well, this is it. Oh, shit. It's like, how is that going to work? Because we need Cottle on board. Oh, shit.
I was like, when I cast invisibility, I kept a firm grip on the Quattle.
Okay, that's fine.
May not bring me anyway because she can't see me.
But, you know, there's 8 of us. Just don't count.
Okay.
I'll do the reception, say there's 8 of us.
Let me read this really quickly.
All of us are here.
I mean, it's more than the people.
Either she kills Quattle on sight, because Quattle is the... I can drop this whenever you want.
She will be the one to have true sight if she does.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, if she's a mage, she probably has true sight already.
You see, she goes, well, soldiers, form a perimeter. Protect me while I prepare the circle. It will be just a minute. And you see, out of her clothes, she starts like floating, maybe half a meter above ground. And out of her cloak, you see many different hands that just stretch and deform, and they start to carve with nails on the floor some sort of arcane circle.
Where would we be going, Grand Mage?
Well, soldier, onto the vessel, and then into the capital to prepare a counteroffensive. Your debrief can wait.
Can I activate my eyes? See what kind of spirits
Thank you.
he has.
There's a concentration of spirits really big surrounding everything of Luciana Valera, but you don't see anything in particular. It seems like the spirits are just flowing and the magic seems to be normal. No corruption, no holy.
Alright.
Well, a minute goes by. Are you 7 ready?
8
All of us are ready.
There's 8 of us. Magus. Can I decept? Can I decept?
Yeah, no, there's 8. 9 with Quattle.
9?
Yeah, you 6. Marlish.
Yeah.
And
Thuras.
Thuras.
That's 8.
I don't know how to math. Well, shall we go?
Yes.
I will reach out for Quartal as well, like just kind of like next to Kaliki, and just grip whatever part I can grab of Quartal as hard as I can.
Just don't grab too low.
It's all shell, don't worry.
In a flash of light, you all are sucked away. You feel similar to when you entered the temple underneath the miasma, as you are just ripped away, distorted, pull, stretch, and then everything seems to come together as it hits you, as you now are standing on top of a ship, surrounded by hundreds of soldiers.
How close are we to the edge?
I would say like about 20 feet, maybe, to the edge. It's a rather medium ship, and as you all bump and teleport, Kotul, you don't know why you can't shake the feeling that the Grand Magus is looking in the direction where you are standing. And Ephraim, in your head you hear, such a shame. I did ask to meet in Elam. Oh well, plans will have to change. as you see 10, maybe 20 soldiers start pointing their spears towards you and start to encircle you. As the
And I
Grand
do something.
Magus starts flying in the sky, all of the hands that had come out of her cloak just recess back into her, and you see she lifts a hand and goes, "Dispel magic."
And I do something crazy.
Can I do
Yes.
something crazier?
Can I? Dimension door doesn't have to be. It just has to be at a specific point that I see. Yes.
No.
Specific
go to
point that
wherever you
you
want.
can imagine.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to grab her and dimension door 100 feet off the ship in midair
Willie.
with just me and her.
Sure, just make me a contested dexterity check to see if you manage to grab her as soon as you teleport into this place.
Don't fucking fail me. Don't fucking fail me. Don't fucking fail me.
As soon
Okay.
as the
19.
8. As you all appear in the ship, you immediately see how, as soon as she starts levitating and casts the Dispel Magic, Quotal appears, you see all of the guards start pointing their spears. Shoralf immediately grabs, graces her cloak, and they... How does your dimension door look like?
How far can dimension? Because I didn't realize. I'm probably gonna go
500 feet.
500 feet.
500.
Oh, this is fucking screwing me. 500 feet. Well, I'm almost 500 feet away. Or as far as I physically can without touching the dome, I'm gonna go that far away. And my dimension door looks like a black, just like a black with like black flames coming around it. Like a port. The only way has anyone seen the new Spider-Man Across the Universe?
Nope.
Fantastic. Well, the one has, and the viewers have, you'll understand. It's almost like a black, wibbly circle, but this has got more flames and is a bit more menacing with a little red dot right in the middle. Or is it green dot? Whatever dot. It's a dot in the middle that's coloured ominously. And
Sus dimension door.
yeah, and that's the thing that you see.
And that is where we are going to actually finish tonight's game.
No! We have at least 1 hour more.
Yeah, no. Shoralf and Grain Megus Luciana Valera, where do you teleport so that I can have 2 maps prepared for next time?
Basically, as far as I can without being like, I want to try to, if it's say 300 feet away or 500 feet away, if that does work, away from the ship. I want to go as far as I possibly can, ship in the middle of the air, as high up as possible. So basically, we're gonna fall.
Oh, she's flying.
She can fly.
Fuck. Maybe.
I was gonna say.
You saw as she was levitating, flying higher up.
You can try to wait.
How far away is the basement of the house?
Farther than this. You are about 100 feet flying atop the Harmonious Plaza. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The Kindness house was like a couple of kilometers.
Right, okay. She's on the floor somewhere then, because she's on the floor. Did we go into any rooms? A room on the floor somewhere, so she's not like, in open space.
You did go to, when you were chasing Gava, you did enter a tavern.
Okay, we're gonna go inside that tavern.
Cool, perfect. And then we'll come back next week to see how everybody else deals with a full regiment of heavily armored soldiers.
Wall of fire.
How big how far apart are the people? Basically, how many of them can I get in a 20-foot sphere?
Maybe 4? 5?
4!
You'll
They're
see
not
them
like
up in 2 weeks, dude.
They're not packly. They're not like shoulder to shoulder.
And the worst part is you've just lost your fireball guy.
We've got a druid who likes this fire. He'll be fine.
How stupid are they?
These are the elite guardsmen that were part of the royal guard.
Yeah, this is why I didn't want to come here.
I mean, are they like typically stupid or are they
Maybe not.
smart?
They're like probably
No,
above
they're
average.
probably very smart.
But they have to be high muscle. They have to be.
Well, ride
They're
or die time,
trained.
boys.
Yeah. So, guys,
Ride
remember
or
how
die.
we were talking about how I've never had a TPK?
Well,
We will still not have a TPK. Shut up, Marcel.
I sure hope so. Okay, guys, and with that, we are going to cut off slightly earlier tonight. As I need to see what the fuck I get. So, in the meantime, you know where this goes. Keep on weaving.
oh,
See you all in 2 weeks.